Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's change the. Hold up one second. You guys on We'll wrangle this crowd real quick and then we'll get started in just 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Go ahead. If you're online, turn your cameras on. We want to see your smiling faces. After that, all right, good morning. Good morning, Mike. Go ahead, grab a seat. Let's fill up the table so people come in late.
What was that?
They can have a place to sit. All right. Man, there's this weird stuff. This weather's weird. What's that?
It's liquid, it's sunshine.
What's what?
It's gray out.
This wet stuff is falling from the sky. I'm not exactly sure what that's called, but rain. I think I've heard it's called to be rain.
Maybe.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, thank you so much for coming today, braving the weather. And hello, everybody online. Real quick, we have some quick housekeeping things to go through. We're going to blow through, unless anybody has a tell me something good that is just bursting out of them. We'll blow past that. Rodney, we'll go right into the lender update.
Okay, well, yeah, what it was, race on fire in the direction finally. I posted something on the Team Brent Facebook page, so if you want to grab some of that off of that. Weeks ago, maybe the last time we got together, rates were approaching 7.5. Today, you don't have an idea where we are at the moment. 6.25. Yeah, 6.23.
Nice.
No cost on the rate for a 30-year fix, right? Those of you that took my advice and the temporary buy down strategy, it's still a good thing because your buyer is going to end up getting a credit back when they refinance. That money that they didn't use that was given to them by the seller gets credited back as opposed to the permanent buy down scenario. And rates are expected to get down by the end. Like one of the things I posted in that chart is really good, I think, information. A year ago today, oddly, rates were at 3.11 today. Yeah, and today we're at 60 and 6.25 basically, right? And we're super excited because we're down from 7.5.
Perspective.
Yeah, I expect rates to drop down, into, if it continues on, a lot of it's going to have to do, as you've heard me say, what's going on right now. What we just went through is the Black Friday sales for the holiday season. They're lackluster, as I anticipated they probably would, which will give pause for rate increases, which is what has actually been announced. So I expect that we might even see something with a 5 in front of it by January, right? And then I expect it to continue to fall. There'll be the normal market gyrations going up and down, but I expect it to fall throughout most of the year. So that means do your marketing now, right? Because we're going to have a busy spring season. One of the things that the top chart which shows, I don't know if you can pull it up or not, or if you want to.
It's on the page.
Yeah, it's on the Brent page. Is I put the purchase volume chart, right? The number of volume of purchases going on from last year till today, and a rate graph going through that, right? So what you'll see is a year ago, and as rates kind of went up, it just literally teeter-tottered, right? So it's okay, so right in the middle of the screen right there where there's kind of a valley is 5.23. Then there's a slight increase in both rate and volume, right? And then it continues to slide down on volume. The reason for that is the lag time. Those are closings at 5.23, meaning they got locked in maybe a month before. And then the volume, you know, so it appeared to have up, but really, and analyzing it right there, 5.23 seemed to be the sweet spot for buyer, you know, affordability. So we're headed back that direction. Prices are still going up year over year, month on month, right? We haven't dropped in value locally. So make sure you got good ammunition to support what we're talking about with to your clients so that they're not afraid, because in the media, the sky is falling, right? In real estate, and it's really not. It's a great time to be buying. It's a fabulous time to be buying, to be honest with you. And I have projections showing out 3 years, and home prices, inflation adjusted, are still going to be increasing, albeit very small, maybe 1% for the next couple of years. You know, in some areas it'd be more. So there's no reason not to buy, because rents are still going up. They're flattening a little bit along with it too, but I mean, and so many loan programs out there right now. I have a loan program, believe it or not. If you're breathing and you have money, right? You gotta have money that you can get a loan right now. No question asked for owner occupied, non-owner occupied. Of course, there's a debt service ratio, the DSCR, where the rents will, for investors, right? The rents will qualify you. So even if you have, you know, not the best credit and no income, or you can't document your income, if you're an investor, it's a great time. You can do equity lines on your house. I mean, there's down payment assistance. There's everything out there. It is a fabulous time right now to be in this business and to help your clients. So if you need any structure, strategies, whatever, I'm available to help.
What's their phone? What's the phone number, Rodney?
916-223-2775.
All right, Ms. Rodney Rose. All right, but anybody, we got time for one question, because we have a rock star on the line. We don't want to miss out on spending time with him. One question for Rodney? No, we want to go straight to the rock star. All right. So just so we're clear, we do have a meeting next week, and we have a meeting after that, and we have Stacy Peterson. She's going to be coming in. Let me share the screen, and then we're going to get to Dale. But so Stacy Peterson, raise your hand if you went to the Stacy Peterson Business Planning Clinic, right? She was incredible, right? I felt like I was like mom all day long. She was incredible. She's going to be coming back just for us, just for this meeting, to do a follow-up and check in and see how we're doing so far in business planning. So we're getting a part 2. She's next week. And then the week after that, we have our very own Mr. Eric Lofholm right here. And he is going to be speaking on, you want to share real quick what you're speaking on?
Generating unlimited leads without paying for it. Anybody need any more leads? All right. See you there. It's going to be awesome.
On the 15th. All right. And then the last thing, my lovely wife shared this with me today. Who here follows Ryan Lundquist, Sac Appraisal on Instagram? Okay, every hand in the room should be up. The dude is a legend. If you want to know what's happening in the local market, you need to be following this guy. And so what he's noticing is that there's more, like the trend. We all have felt that the market has slowed down a little bit, right? Like it's going into the seasonal thing. This is normal. How does this compare to other years? Well, right now, we have about 350 fewer listings than the pre-pandemic normal. So we are down a little, but not a lot. But it just feels like a lot because of the crazy years we've been having in years past. Make sense? So with the lower interest rates coming, and that have already happened, and with buyers out there, right? And with sellers, the spring is going to be fantastic. So be planting the seeds now, because what you do now, you're going to get paid in 90 days. We got Brent Gove even in the room. So with that, let me stop the share. And we're going to hand it over to Dale Archdekin. He is, well, I'll let you introduce yourself. Dale, go ahead and tell everybody who you are if they don't know.
Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. So I'm the founder of Smart Coaching and Training, and I'm actually an EXP agent as well. I'm in the second line from Brent, actually. Cliff Freeman brought me in. Cliff Freeman and I used to train and coach with Real Estate B School back in the day, and that's how I got introduced to Cliff. But where my background comes from is from first selling real estate. And back in the day when I started selling real estate, I'm going to be full disclosure, everybody, I sucked at building relationships with people. I didn't have a sphere of influence. I wasn't an experienced salesperson. And so if you don't have a sphere of influence and you kind of suck at building relationships, how do you get business? How do you sell houses? You go and talk to strangers. That's how you do it. For sale by owners, expireds, door knocking, circle prospecting, all of those very, Oh, the grind, man. I was breaking rocks in the sun trying to make a real estate living selling real estate. And so that's what I did. And I did that for several years. I then collaborated with another agent in my office. We got together and he said, hey, man, you're the #1 prospector, cold call cowboy in the office. Let's get together. I have this really well SEO'd website that's just dumping leads out on the floor and my agents are lazy and they're cherry picking it. Would you come and work this stuff? And I said, hey, I'm honored, man. I appreciate that, but I'm getting burned out. I want to teach other people how to do this. And at that time, there was this buzzword called ISAs, or inside sales agents, that were going around, and a couple of high profile team leaders were using them in their businesses. So I said, let's do this. Let's build an inside sales department, and they're going to work the leads, and they're going to set all these magical appointments, and we're just going to dance into the sunset and make all this money, and it's going to be so easy. And he said, yes, let's do that. So then we proceeded to waste a lot of money, screw a lot of things up, and waste a lot of time trying to make our ISA department profitable. We finally got it figured out, did really well at that. And so the techniques and strategies that I developed, I ran and built the ISA department, managed the salespeople, and the techniques and strategies that we built, I condensed down into a training platform, scripting, dialogue, really sales, tactical blocking and tackling for how you have conversations with people. We essentially took, hey, how do high-level experienced salespeople with lots of track record, how do they talk to leads? How do they handle objections? How do they set appointments? How do they stand in the fire of someone not willing to do what you want them to do, when you want them to do it, or how you want them to do it? How do they move the ball forward so that we could condense that down, distill it down, and teach these brand new ISAs that had really no real estate experience so that they could then, create 30, 40, 50, 60 transactions in their first 12 months in the business using the leads that we gave them. That's my elevator pitch, everybody. That's where I come from. And for the last 6 years, I've been doing that full time with my training and coaching company. So I ran into Brent at the most recent EXPCon. My friend Jesse Zagorski, who I've been doing some of these webinar trainings for, said, oh my God, Brent, this is one of the best sales trainers in the industry right now. And Brent said, wow, that's a glowing endorsement. Will you come and do some of that for my company? So here I am today. Nice to meet all of you.
Awesome. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
That's like the longest intro anybody's ever done, right?
No, it was good. I was still like absorbing it. I was still back to, we spent a lot of money and we couldn't get it to work. And I'm like curious how you got it to work, You know
what I did is we went and we learned from the other team leaders who were actually doing it. We sat with them, looked over their departments, learned directly from them, brought it back, and then iterated and changed things that needed to be changed, and really came up with basically taking what they had, making it work for our company. That's what it took. Mm-hmm. So what I'm here today to do is I'm here to talk about a couple of scripting and dialogue patterns. I know Johnny was really interested in me helping you guys work on some of the common objections that you're hearing today. And, the graphic that he sent out had waiting for the market to crash, going to rent my property, waiting for prices to go up. I don't quite know that one. I guess that's a seller who's hesitating, thinking that prices are still going to go through the roof, or waiting for interest rates to come down, right? So those, I think in that graphic, those are some of the things that people across all the markets are hearing right now. And so I have two options for you. I've got some people on video here virtually. Oh, let me just tell you this. Normally, I'm not a talking head. I don't normally like to do webinar style listen to me presentations, because all of you are going to say, that sounds fantastic. You might even take some fancy notes, but you won't be able to use anything that I tell you, most likely. One or two of you stellar pupils might actually take what I say and go and implement it, maybe. What I find is what we do in our company is we actually practice stuff. We role play this stuff, right? So normally I have a big conference room full of agents over there. Normally, you guys would all be on your own devices. You'd all be virtual here. I'd force you all to turn your cameras on. And then I would ask for volunteers to role play what I'm about to teach you. And if nobody volunteered, I'd start picking you, right? That's normally how I do things. So I have two options I'm going to give you guys. I see some people turning their cameras on. That's great. Two options. Do you want to do it where Dale just goes through all of his patterns and stuff, and then I give you the slides at the end and you try to do it? Or do you, I don't know if I have enough salespeople over here in virtual land where I can actually interact with you guys and have you practice it. So version 1 is Dale, go through all your patterns and processes, teach us the great stuff, give us the slides. Option 2 is I have some actual salespeople who might leave that room and go jump on your device, join us here in virtual land and actually role play with me. Do I have enough people that want to role play, or do you guys just want me to get to it and teach you as much as I can as a talking head?
All right, is it possible to do, I'm seeing option 2. Can you still send us the slides so we can have those for reference?
You will all get the slides, no matter what choice we make here.
When you sold me on, raise your hand if you want option 1.
I mean, you're going somewhere. I mean,
Rodney wants option 1. Who wants option 2? Go ahead, raise your hand. Come on, people.
I already forgot what option 1 was. What was
Option 1, I'm just going to get, so here's the thing. Let me show you over this. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully I have the permission to do that.
We do.
If you're setting it up for option 1, I'm in, whatever it is.
Here we go. Option 1 is, option 1 is I try to get through as many of these 5 patterns as I can while we're here. And then let's do this. Let me go through the first one and I'll see if there's anybody that wants to role play. How does that sound?
Perfect. Great.
Okay, excellent. So I'm going to start with, and these are the 5 that I'm working on with you guys today. Hopefully we get through them. If not, you get all the slides. No big deal. You guys know where to find me. Eventually you will. I'm going to wait for the market to crash. We're going to do this first one. So let me jump into this. And I was just at, does anybody here use Follow Up Boss, the CRM?
Yeah, we do.
Love Follow Up Boss. I just spoke at FubCon in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and I did this from stage. Again, it's hard to really make the impact without being able to practice with people because we're super tactile, but I'm going to do this for you today. So this is a big one that a lot of people are dealing with right now, right? Which is I'm going to wait for the market to crash. Let me first tell you what you shouldn't do. And I know that some of you are doing this. If I go and listen to your calls, I know it's happening. Somebody says, I'm waiting for the market to crash. Don't disagree with them. Okay. Don't disagree. Don't make them wrong. Don't educate them before understanding them. What do I mean when I say that? Somebody says, oh, I'm waiting for the market to crash. Oh, Dale, that's stupid. That's not going to happen. Here's why. You don't have permission to do that with me yet. Okay. Anybody that you're talking to, people don't say dumb things because they think they're saying dumb things. They say dumb things because they don't know any better and they believe them. So meet them where they're at. Let them say their dumb things. We're going to understand why they're saying dumb things, where they got their information from, what it means to them and why it's important. And then we're going to help them say smarter things. But you can't make them wrong, can't educate them before you have permission, and don't close them immediately, okay? It happens all the time. I know this sounds like, oh yeah, duh, right, Dale? No. I listen to thousands of hours of sales calls. This happens all the time. So I'm telling you right now, don't do these. Actually, I had this guy at FubCon walk up to me. Big burly dude, huge beard, very cool beard, very similar to my hair, but huge. He comes up, he goes, man, I've been selling real estate for 30 years. I myself do about 25, 30 million every single year without, lifting a finger. And when you put that slide of what not to do, that's exactly what I do. And I just lost $1 million deal last week because I did that. He's like, where were you before? And I'm like, oh, okay, man, well, I'm here now. So don't do that stuff anymore. And it's amazing to hear those kind of things. So if any of you are like, yeah, Dale, we got all of that. We already know that stuff. I promise you're probably still doing this stuff. Don't do these things. So then the smart ones in the room are like, okay, Dale, what should we do? Here's what you're going to do instead. You're going to get their perspective or experience. Yeah. I'm waiting for the market to crash. This is a very typical pattern that we teach in my company, regardless of what the objection is, regardless of where people are. First of all, you got to understand their perspective and their experience and what the benefit is to them or what the outcome is or what they're going to get out of it before you try to change their mind or argue with them. And again, I don't care what dumb thing they say. I'm going to wait for the market to crash. Oh, got it. We're going to get their perspective, their experience, get the benefit to them. Then we're going to roll right into educating them. We're not going to ask for permission. We're not going to ask for permission because I don't want to invite additional objections. I'm going to educate them and then I'm going to soft close them. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And I'll give you the terminology and the verbiage right here. And then listen, there is no magic bullet, right? If you said, Dale, you know, these people are hesitating, they're sitting on the sidelines, how do I get them to move forward? Here's the truth. A lot of them you won't get them to move forward because they're not ready, or they don't have the ability, or it's not the right time for them. And that's okay. But if you at least have a good strategy and good pattern, you will get more than you otherwise would. And so if you don't get them, that's okay. They're not ready to do something. It's not time. We're going to set a logical next step. And call me if you see anything is not a logical next step, everybody. Shocker, okay? Call me if you see anything. Strike that from the record. All right, everybody? Let me know if things change is not a logical next step. I'm going to get into what a logical next step is. All right, so let's go through market crash. I'm just going to give you some questions. So we looked at the pattern. Hey, I'm going to wait for the market to crash, Dale. Got it. So when you say crash, what do you mean? Let me not assume that I know what a market crash means to you. We also have this thing that we teach in my company called the question game. We love doing the question game, where somebody says an objection and you have to ask a direct question to understand it. One of the first objections that we start with is, I'm not ready to work with an agent. I'm not ready to work with an agent. Usually that one just punches people in the face and shuts them down. When you play the question game with us, you very quickly learn if somebody says, hey, I'm not ready to work with an agent. You can ask, oh, got it. When you say work with an agent, what exactly do you mean? Let me not assume what working with an agent means. Let me unpack it. Let me understand you, your perspective and experience. So you see that kind of question repeated right here. I'm waiting for the market to crash. Got it. When you say crash, what do you mean? When do you think that will happen? What will that do for you? What will it do for you if the market does crash? Let's say the market does crash. What's that going to do for you? And what if that doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen is an amazing transition question. Remember when I said people don't say dumb things because they want to say dumb things? They say them because they believe them, because they think it's correct. They think it's accurate. They think that there's going to be some benefit to it. When you go down this path of questioning with them, which nowhere in here am I disagreeing with them. Nowhere in here am I arguing with them or trying to change their mind in any way. I'm genuinely trying to understand them. When you get to what if that doesn't happen? What if the market doesn't crash? What if Bernie Sanders doesn't get into office, right? I'm now making the transition question where I'm going to make you put your mindset into a different place before I then move on with you, right? Now, hopefully I understand you. I get a good idea where you're at, what you think you're going to get out of it. What if it doesn't happen? Now you start, giving me what you're going to do or not. And sometimes in there, you're going to discover they don't actually have the motivation or ability. That might be the case, and that's totally fine. So once I get through these questions, now we can start educating. Now I have the permission. Got it. So you want to wait to the market to crash because you're going to wait for it to scoop up, entire blocks of properties that are on foreclosure at 3 cents on the dollar. Totally get that. Makes sense, man. I don't know if you know this, but there have really only been 11 recessions in the past 100 years. Home prices came down only twice out of those 11 recessions. That was once in 1980 and once in 2008. And, the economists that I follow point to 5 reasons that the market won't crash like it did in 2008 anytime soon. And that's low inventory, lack of new construction housing, large amounts of new buyers, strict lending standards, and a drop in foreclosures. I just educated, right? I'm not going to ask, what do you think about that? Have you thought? I'm not going to invite feedback from them. I'm immediately just going to roll right into a soft close. So, hey, if a property came up on the market, the numbers looked great, it made a lot of sense to you, it was a perfect fit for you and the family, is at least something you'd want to take a look at. I've questioned you. I've been on your side of the table. I've gotten who you are, what you want, why you want it, what you think you're going to get out of it. I've then educated you and just given you a soft close. I've given you something you want. And notice when I say soft close, it wasn't, hey, if the perfect home comes on the market, are you ready to write an offer? No, Dale, I'm not ready to do that. right? That's a hard close. A soft close is, hey, the perfect home came up, really worked for you and the family. Seemed like it was checking all the boxes you were looking for. Is that something you'd be interested in? Would you want to take a look at it? Would you at least want to know about it? Okay, that's a soft close. That's pretty much it. So this pattern is the best way to set you guys up that if there is a possibility that this person is going to do something differently at a different time frame with a different person under a different set of circumstances, they're likely to say yes, or at least maybe. Can we at least get a maybe, right? That's what you're looking for. Now, all these fancy Jedi mind tricks aren't always going to work. That's the truth. There's still going to be people that say, Dale, love your fancy words. I hear your words, not doing anything different. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to hang out in my hobbit hole. I'm going to wait for the entire world economy to collapse and buy, properties 10 cents on the dollar. Okay, gotcha. Now we're going to go to logical next step, right? Notice I said, hey, let me know if something changes, or let me know if you see something, is not a logical close. A logical close, anytime you end a conversation with a consumer about real estate or anything, we want to know when we're going to talk next, why we're going to talk next, and what they're going to get out of it. So let's use the example of waiting for the market to crash. Talking to a buyer, they want to buy, they're not quite sure to get into the market yet. They think they're going to get a steep discount. I can't talk them around it. I've used Dale's fancy words. It's not working. They're still going to hang out. They're convinced that they're going to get a big discount later on. Hey, you know what? I got it, Harry homeowner. Totally understand. And listen, I would want to get as good a deal as I possibly can too. I actively watch the market every single day, and usually market information changes in about a 2-week cycle. Here's what I'm going to do. I'll follow up with you 2 Thursdays from now around the same time. I'll give you a call just to let you know where the market is now and whether prices have gone up or down or whether they've stayed flat, just so you can keep making great decisions. Sound good? Now, I know when we're going to talk, why we're going to talk, and what that person's going to get out of it.
Hey, Dale, I got to interrupt you. This is so good. Johnny, are we recording this? Please, dear God, tell me we hit the record button.
I can start now.
Yeah, please start now. This is like, I'm like, oh my God, record every one of these rounds. Hit the record button. My God.
Thank you so much.
So good.
Here's a little secret. I am a bit of a monkey grinder working for peanuts. I do this all the time. So if you need me back again, I can make it happen. Don't worry.
Oh, we're gonna wear you out, man.
That sounds good. So let me go to the big group of people. Does anybody have any yeah buts, what ifs? I tried that and it doesn't work. Anyone?
So what if you set that appointment and they because you kind of didn't give them an option, and then they don't answer, or they're like, no, don't call me. I know what you're saying. I'll call you when I'm ready, like something like that.
Oh, so if I did the logical next step, hey, I'll reach out to you in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah. Johnny, let's role play that. Okay. So Johnny, listen, man, I totally get it, man. I'd want a discount too. How about this? I'm constantly watching the market, blah, 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 blah. Changes about every 2 weeks. I'll reach out to you 2 weeks from now on a Thursday just to update you. So it's up, down, or flat. How does that sound?
I appreciate it, Dale, but I'm not gonna be reaching out, and I'm gonna be changing my mind in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Got it. Hey, listen, that makes perfect sense, man. I think you should do it according to your timeline. When should I talk to you next?
I'll call you when I'm ready, Dale. I got your phone number right here.
Okay, sounds good. Listen, I'm sure that you will hit me up when you are ready. Here's what I want to do. I want to make sure that you don't miss any opportunity. Would you want me to make sure that you don't miss an opportunity if there's a big change one way or the other?
How hard do you want me to be on this, Dale?
You can say yes now, Johnny. They just heard the example.
All right, Dale, you wore me down. Yeah, I appreciate your persistence. Yeah, go ahead. You can let me know if there's like a big change, but I want to know if the interest rate goes from like 6 to 5.9. I need something juicy.
Okay, good. Listen, everybody. I would say that that's about my best attempt with somebody who's like, no. Listen, I said, would you want to know if there's a big change? I softened what I'm doing. I changed my approach. I brought it down. I said, would you want to know if there's a big change either way? most of the time there's going to be a yes to a big change because he doesn't want nickel and dime. He doesn't want some rando salesperson just bugging him about insignificant stuff in between. Say, hey, do you want to know about a big change one way or the other? The guy still says no. Guess what? Let him go. Okay. But you're going to follow up with him probably a month later or so, 45 days later anyway, just to say, Johnny, how you doing, man? We talked a month ago. I just wanted to give you an update on where things are at. The guy's going to forget that he told you no, 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 no. And if he doesn't, he just isn't going to answer your call or just not going to respond to you. We can't get everybody, but I generally follow a pattern of I am your best friend and you just don't know it yet. And I'm going to friend the shit out of you until you change your mind. Okay.
What you're saying works 100%, Dale. I did this the other day and I followed up with somebody and they're like, hey, yeah, I'll meet you. Because you've been so persistent, you seem like you really care. I'm willing to meet with you. You know, like, so the money, even if they say no in this moment, the money's when you call them back in 30, 45 days, 90 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, totally right there with Johnny on that. Like, everyone's got to remember, we're not selling shampoo, right? We're selling houses. This is a part of someone's, one of the biggest decisions of their life, right? So you're not trying to manipulate them into doing a sale. You are just trying to be there if the need is there, right? So Johnny is completely right? If you won't give me 2 weeks, how about a month? How about 2 months? I'm going to call you back no matter what until you block my phone number. But you don't need to know that. And as long as I leave a meeting with another meeting scheduled, I've done my job.
Yeah. I also like to say, it's like, hey, I love to throw house parties. I'm going to keep inviting you to my barbecue, no matter how many times you turn me down. Okay. I'm going to keep inviting you because at some point you're going to come to my party. So does anybody want to practice this?
I'm down.
Drew wants to do it. All right, Drew. So Drew, let's go back up here to the top. I'll just start you off with the questions, or I'll give you the pattern, right? You're just going to unpack me, get through the questions, figure out what the benefit is to me. Then you're going to educate, roll to a soft close. And if you can't get the soft close, then you're going to do a logical next step.
Got it. So I'm the agent, you're the buyer.
Yep, I am the lead. Yeah, so let's say, I register on your website. I've been looking at houses. You call me up. You get through the who, where, when, why, what, and how much. And I say, listen, Drew, I appreciate the call, man, but we and my wife aren't going to be buying. We're going to wait for the market to crash.
Okay. So that's where we're starting off.
Wait for yep. We're just going to wait for the market to crash, Drew.
Perfect. Dale. So tell me more about that, man. I love the conversation so far, but tell me more about, what do you mean? What crash?
Well, so, I've been watching the news, man, and, the economy is going crazy. It's slowing down and the stock market's down, and I'm just waiting for home prices to come down.
Got it. So when you mean down, what's in an ideal world, right? What does down mean for you?
I don't know, man. Less than now, more affordable. These prices are just too high, and I'm not paying these crazy prices.
Got it. Okay. So just more affordability, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to look back, let's say 6 months, right? Was it affordable then, or it wasn't affordable?
6 months ago, I don't think we were in the market at the time. It's just that, I just know that houses in this area, the area where we want to be in, are a lot more expensive than they used to be. And,
right.
I'm not willing to pay the price. I watch the news, I see what's going on, man, and I'm going to wait for it to change.
Got it. So we'll just kind of give you a little bit of heads up. So, like, for example, 6 months ago, we were looking at more of like 4.5% interest rate, right? We're at what, probably about 6.5, 7, in that middle range right there. So that's the part that's, you're saying, is unaffordable?
Yeah, well, prices are up and interest rates are up. So yeah, I got to pay more for the house and it costs me more in a monthly payment.
Got it. Okay. Well, so quick question for you, or you might find this interesting, right? So 6 months ago, when we were looking at houses, the average house was actually getting into contract about 15 to 20% higher than what it was at. Okay. Right now, we're actually seeing about 5 to 10% lower than what's listed at. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if I were to be able to tell you that you could get the same monthly payment right now that you could 6 months ago or a year ago, when it was, like you had said, more affordable, right? Would that be something that's interesting to you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So, I mean, what I would love to do is at least just give you information, right? I'm assuming you're the type of person just like me. You'd love to, I'm not asking for a commitment or anything, but just you'd like to get some more information.
Sure. Yeah.
Perfect. So then what I would love to do is maybe set up a time, maybe for us to, get on another phone call. If you would like to come into the office, that's totally fine too. Love to, buy you a cup of coffee and just give you the information of just showing you the affordability, right? And if
Okay.
it doesn't work out, it's all good.
That sounds great. All right, everybody. Excellent example. Drew followed the steps here. Now let's have him do a logical next step. So let's say Drew does all of his Jedi mind tricks, right? He unpacks me, he educates me, does a soft close just like he did. I'm still stubborn, right? No, I know better than you. No, you know what? Listen, Drew, we're not going to be doing anything, man. I'm waiting for that market. I'm waiting for my lotto ticket to come in. I'm not doing anything, buddy. So you give me a call after that market crashes and I'll buy 10 of them from you.
Oh, dude, I love that. Well, look, let's do this first. At least let me go buy you a lotto ticket, right? I'd love to contribute, right? So what I can do, you watch, I'm going to have my assistant send over that. You'll see it in the mail in the next couple of days because I got your address right down here, right?
Nice.
So, but now, Alan, I think that the best thing, or Dale, the best thing that I could do for you is just educate you on when that time does come, right? We're going to see shifts in the market. And I just need to understand what that big, drop is that you're talking about. So how about in the next, usually we have a change about every 2 to 3 weeks. I'll give you a call in about 2 weeks and just give you a heads up on what's going on. Does that sound good?
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Excellent. Good. So we got a when we're going to talk next, why we're going to talk next, what I'm going to get out of it. And then I think the only thing I would do, Drew, is I think you could strengthen a little bit more of what I would get out of it, right? Which is so that you can, seize the market when it's time, so that you can make sure that you get the right time before the ball bounces, right? Or whatever it may be, just a little punch up a little bit more of what I'm going to get out of it. Because everybody listening, we're salespeople. I like to say that salespeople are like cops. Nobody wants to talk to you until they need you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So unless they need me, they're like, no. Like, when's the last time you went down to the local car dealership just to hang out with the sales boys down there? Because they're so fun to talk to, right? Never.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
We're all salespeople. As much as we like to say, I'm your advisor, your guide, your best buddy, your wet nurse, whatever, we're still salespeople at the end of the day. People never forget that. We're the only ones who forget we're salespeople.
For
Good.
sure. I like it.
All right. Should we do it? You guys want to do another pattern?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. All right, let's do it. So I've got waiting till spring. I've got need to talk to my spouse. I like that one. Not ready to list my home or look at homes. Or this is always a fun one. I have an agent.
I have an agent.
Have an agent.
I have an agent.
I have an agent. Yeah. I love I have an agent. Okay. You ready for this?
Please.
I have an agent. Listen, this is funny. The things that happen when somebody's like, I have an agent. Now, I'm not saying the kind of I have an agent where it's like, hey, we have a buyer broker relationship agreement, or we are listed on contract and we are working together and they're doing a lot of great work for me. I'm not talking about that, right? So my own personal business decisions, if I have a conversation with a consumer and they say, oh, Dale, we have somebody we're working with. Dale, we have somebody we're going to use. We know who we're going to go through. I'm going to stay in that fire. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to have a conversation with you. If it turns out that, hold on, my follow-up boss is ringing. If it turns out that that agent is already doing work with you and you like them and you're happy with their service, I personally am going to choose to stop at that point, even if you don't have something signed. That's just my own personal business decision, okay? I don't try to take the sandwich out of somebody's mouth if they're doing a good job and if this person feels that they're being served to a high level, but I will continue having a conversation with them. All right. So what we're not going to do, my dog is freaking out. What we're not going to do is we're not going to give up and run away, right? We're not going to use a lame Hail Mary. A lame Hail Mary is like this. Hey, Dale, we have an agent that we're going to use. Oh, okay. Well, if you're not happy, call me. That is a lame Hail Mary, dude. Do not do that. Just stay there. I'm going to give you the questions. I'm going to give you the verbiage to use. And don't try to close them immediately. Hey, Dale, yeah, we have an agent we're going to use. Well, let me tell you how many houses I've sold. We've sold all the houses for double the price in half the time, and you should work with me. Okay, don't do that either. All right, there's going to be time for selling yourself. Don't do it right now. Here's what you are going to do. Somebody says, I have an agent, any flavor of it. They're sending me emails. We're thinking about working with somebody. We have somebody we'll use. You're going to follow this simple 4-step process. We're going to investigate their level of commitment. And this is the key one. We're going to determine what they're buying. What do they think they're getting out of using that person? And I'll explain this more to you. Then we're going to close for a meeting with them. So here's what the pattern looks like. You're going to paraphrase. You guys all know how to paraphrase, right? Dale, I have an agent I'm going to use. Oh, you have an agent you're going to use. Dale, we have somebody we're thinking of going through. You have someone you think you're going through? That's a paraphrase. All I've done is repeated your statement back to you and swing up on the end. It makes it a question. A paraphrase is a free question because what will happen is people will either say, yup, right? Or nope. Or they're going to give you additional information you don't have to figure out how to get. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Dale, you have an agent you're planning on using? Yeah, it's my cousin Susie. She's amazing. Just got a license. And, I want to help her out. They're going to give you free information that you don't have to figure out how to formulate a question for when you paraphrase. Then you're going to go committed, signed, benefit. Then we're going to take benefit and we're going to craft a custom close. I'm going to show you how to do this. All right, so let's role play this. We'll use Drew since he volunteered already. Drew, tell me that you have an agent. Tell me that you have an agent, Drew.
Hey, Dale, thank you so much, man, but I got an agent.
Oh, you got an agent?
Yeah, he sold us our last house.
Oh, got it. Okay, sold your last house. Are you committed to working with him?
Yeah, we've used him twice now in last decade. So yeah.
Oh, okay, that's great. Have you signed anything with him this time?
No, not at all.
No, okay, got it. Well, let me ask you this, Drew. Listen, I know you have a track record with them. That's fantastic. Is there a specific advantage to working with that agent over any other agent in the market?
Probably just trust. He did a good job. So yeah.
Trust, did a good job. Okay, that sounds fantastic. So other than trust and doing a good job for you guys, is there any other benefit that you're looking for in the agent that you use to purchase your next home?
He to be honest, he talked about marketing and stuff and everything. I don't really know what he said, but I remember we talked. It was just all about his marketing. Yeah.
Oh, got it. That's great. Okay, I'm going to break role play, everybody. So now what do I need to sell Drew in order to have a snowball's chance in hell of getting his business away from this guy? Marketing strategy. But what are the first ones? What are the big ones? Marketing strategy was the kicker. What were the first things he said? What's the advantage? What's he getting?
Trust.
Trust.
He's getting certainty.
What's that?
Because he's certainty and trust.
Certainty. Great job, right? Kicker, marketing plan. Now, listen to this. I don't know if this is going to work every time, everybody. I can tell you it's not. Okay. But here's a really good shot at it. Hey, Drew, all that makes a lot of sense, man. And it makes a lot of sense to work with somebody that you trust. In fact, the last 200 clients who we represented through this whole process at the end reported that they really loved the level of trust and confidence that they had in us, that we were going to get the job done with them. And in fact, we ended up being more friends with them than business associates. So before you make the final decision on which way to go, would you like to compare our marketing package and the investment that we make in you in order to get this process done? Is that something you'd like to take a look at before you sign on the line?
Well, yeah, I guess it wouldn't hurt anything.
Cool. All right. Now, will that work in the real life, everybody? Maybe 2 times out of 8 or so, because the guy's super committed. He's already got a huge track record, but is that one of the most difficult situations to try to sell against?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, I just want to illustrate for you that what I did is I unpacked Drew. I used a process. I figured out what he was buying, what he thought he was getting. I even got him to throw in a kicker that I could use to sell against. And now I basically had 3 values that I pitched him on in my custom close. Good?
That was a good one.
Thank you.
You've given me back everything that I gave you.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, buddy, tell me what you want to say yes to, and let me figure out how to package it back up to get you to say yes to it.
Yep.
Without sounding like I want to change your mind, make you wrong. Did I ever say a single word bad or against that other agent?
No.
Nothing at all. Okay, so that is the I have an agent script. And again, if it doesn't work out, you're going to go to logical next step. When are we going to talk next? Why are we going to talk next? And what are they going to get out of it?
Alicia, you're on mute.
Sorry. What if they say they have an agent and it's they're going to go with a family member, or they're going with someone that's going to give them a split of the commission?
Sure. Let's do commission one first. Okay, Alicia? So yeah, Alicia, I want to sell you, or do you want to be a buyer or seller?
I'll be the buyer.
Buyer, great. Hey, Alicia, can I sell you a house? And you're going to tell me no, you have an agent. Okay, Alicia, can I sell you a house?
Yep. No, I have an agent. Sorry about that, Dale. I'm already working with someone.
Oh, you're already working with someone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
It's my cousin.
Your cousin are you committed to working with your cousin?
Well, they're going to give me like half their commission. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, I would be excited about that too. Have you signed anything with your cousin yet?
No.
Okay.
We've looked at a couple of homes online and one in person.
Oh, okay. Got it. Looked at a couple homes online. And so other than them giving you a kickback on some cash, is there any advantage to using your cousin over any other agent in the market?
Well, I want to help them out. They're kind of just getting started in the business too. And honestly, half the commission on $1 million property is a lot. It's like a car for my kid, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. That is a lot of money. Let me ask you something, Alicia. If there was a way that you could still work with your cousin, you could get them all the benefits of the knowledge and experience that a company like mine has. And if we could, through our negotiation strategies and how we tee up your offer, end up saving you double or triple what your cousin would give you back in commission, is that something you might be interested in?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Geez, that does sound good, doesn't it? So what do I mean by that, everybody? I just collaborate with the cousin. On the backside, I give the cousin a referral fee, right? That's how it works. And if I can't negotiate in a buyer situation, I don't know what your market's like. I don't know where your values are. But if I can't at least somehow show more value than a kickback on half of the listing commission, then I probably need to increase my skills. But right? Point is, Alicia, how did that feel? Weren't you like, ooh, more, cheaper, better, faster, easier, and I don't have to screw up the relationship with my cousin too? Oh my God.
Yeah, that was enticing. Very enticing.
Yes. Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, and I wanted to tell everybody, this is something that I just got ingrained from Brent, from learning from him, to write this down. If I would you. This is exactly what Dale is doing, okay? You're listening to what you might want to use in the negotiation, right? The pain points or the pleasure points, right? If I be able to work with your cousin, be able to save you 2 to 3 times the amount of money that they would give you, which is the if, right? Would you like to work with me? If I would you, right? It's a great thing that you can put into every one of your soft closes.
Thank you, Drew. Did anyone notice what I did when Alicia said, yeah, they're going to give me like half their commission back?
You agreed with her.
I agreed. Oh, I was excited. Yeah, I'd love that too. That's a lot of money. Right, everybody?
100%.
And I can do
And you
that.
never threw them under the bus. You never talk badly about them either.
No, I didn't say, well, are you going to risk a family relationship on a brand new agent who's inexperienced? Are you going to put the biggest sale of your life in their hands? None of that 1960s door-to-door garbage, because it doesn't work. Okay? Doesn't work. Instead, people want more, better, cheaper, faster, easier. That's what they want. That's what they gravitate toward. If you try to sell based on fear, you can't sell somebody based on fear unless you have a very high degree of rapport with them. Unless they already know, like, and trust you, you can't sell on fear. You have to sell on gain, right? Put lots of money in your pocket half the time, twice the houses. Great, let's do it. How do I figure out a way to structure that so I can give it to you? Good, excellent. All right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up, everybody. Here's what I can tell you. Because you are in the amazing Brent Gove organization, I would love to come and do some more training for you guys, especially since I'm in the downline. We do have a training company. We have a 12-week program that people can enjoy. And if if we get approved to tell you guys about it, basically you can go check it out. It's a 12-week intensive where we teach this stuff. We have trainers that work with you and role play and hold you accountable to actually making the contacts that you need to make. Megan just dropped the link. Hopefully that was okay. But otherwise, I'd love to come back and do some more of these webinars with you. Here's one stipulation. You can't all be in a big conference room. You all have to be like this, and we'll have cameras on like Drew and Tom and Alicia. And what I'll do is I'll call you out and we'll role play all this fancy stuff that you just heard today, because you hear me roll it off slick because I've taught this stuff a million times. You, in order to say this stuff to real people who cannot give you their money, you have to practice it. You have to have it ingrained so that you don't get afraid of them not giving you their money and you going back to the other stuff that you've been saying to them that didn't result in you getting their money anyway.
Awesome.
That makes sense. Dale, just an idea, when would you like to, like in 3 months, like when would be a good time to have you back?
You know, this is why Johnny is in the position he's in. He's a closer. Thank you, Johnny. Here's what we'll do. We do this for a lot of organizations. So Johnny will coordinate with Megan and get us on the schedule. We can start as early as January if that works for you guys.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll connect with Megan.
Excellent. Listen, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I really appreciate the opportunity. You guys are rock stars under a massive rock star. And so I truly take it as an honor to be invited to do this with you guys.
Well, hey, man, we feel the same way. Everybody give a big round of applause. All right.
Thank you so much. Have a great holidays, everybody.
You too. Bye, Dale.
Bye.
All right, everybody, before you hop off online, there are a couple things, as in one thing that I forgot to mention earlier this morning. Mariah, can you come off mute real quick?
Yes, hello.
Hello, please share with us. What is it you have going on?
Yes, hello team. Today I am hosting an agent and broker tour of my listing out here in Folsom. I have somewhat of a seller who is stuck in their price point and just need your professional nudge to help my client move in the right direction. If you guys can make it out, I have mimosas. I'm doing a gift card giveaway. We have food. It's going to be from 11:30 to 2:30 today. And I will send in the chat right now to everyone my invitation so you guys can know where to go.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for the mimosas. You had me at mimosa, Mariah.
Yeah, and drive safe. It's crazy outside.
Crazy. All right, everybody. Well, hey, that's it for today. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Have a good week.
What's the address?
Yeah, she's putting it in the chat.
There we go.
All right, y'all got that? 105. How do you say that? Duxbury?
Duxbury.
All right. Well.
Thank you.
Bye online. Hope you learned a lot and had a good time. We'll see you next week.